And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. We should really have a different text. Let's call it Masculinity is Hard. That's a good title. That's what we're going to call it. Welcome so much to this channel, to this episode. We're going to talk about masculinity. We're going to talk about, is it difficult? Is it hard? And the reason why I'm even bringing this up, by the way, is because I got a message and it was a video topic idea. What do masculine men have to endure? And then he says, you say that the path to our dreams will be hard. We will be tested. What are those tests, those hardships, those pains? And I thought that was a very interesting question, because what are the pains? You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of issues. There's obviously, the more masculine you become, the more problems you want to take on, right? Because it's like in your femininity, you are thinking extremely small. Okay, you're thinking like about me. Very often. Okay? The more feminine you are, the more your life is only about you. Okay, the more masculine you are, the more you understand what power means. Power means the ability to do. The moment you begin to discover what it means to actually serve humanity and actually think big in terms of serving humanity, that's when you're beginning to tap into your masculine potential. When you're thinking huge, like what can we do to help millions of people, if not billions of people, to get what it is that they desire? And everyone desires happiness, okay? This is the most masculine thought you can have. How can I help everyone to be happy without forcing them? Because if you force them, it doesn't really work, does it? Okay? So, because masculinity is leadership, right? And if you're an ultimate leader, you have an amazing lifestyle, but you want others to have the same amazing lifestyle, and you want to build them up so that they have an amazing lifestyle, which then makes it so that karma works in your favor, because everyone that you've helped throughout your entire life now desires to help you and elevate you and give you whatever it is that you want. And then you have now more power to elevate others and help them to get what they want. And it goes back and forth until we're just fired up outside our brains enjoying our lives. Does that make sense? That's true masculinity. Masculinity, as we define it on this channel, is the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Okay, that's the simplest term that I've put it in. And the reason why I use that definition is because if you control your thoughts, you should be able to be happy all of the time. All of the time. Because who would want to be miserable? Like, who wants to be sad? Who wants to be depressed? Who wants to have, everyone desires to be happy. And the reason why you're not able to be happy, if that happens, which it does, that means that you're not able to control your thoughts, because if you could control your thoughts, you'd be happy. Because that's exactly what it is that's what you want. Does that make sense? So you take that aspect and then you translate that to emotions. If you had control over your emotions, which actually happens because of your thoughts, by the way, because your thoughts produce your emotions, and yeah, you might get some emotions as a reaction to something that happens, but immediately you can start thinking differently about what's happening, find the silver lining in it, find the positive aspect to it, find the win-win situation in the situation, so that you actually feel good even though things are crazy, okay? Now you're controlling your feelings, which is fantastic. The more you can control your feelings, now you begin to control your behavior. You can control your behavior, you'll be consistent, which will create exponential growth. This is masculinity. Masculinity is consistency. Why? Because consistency creates exponential growth every time, or exponential decline. Right? If you're consistent doing something which is really, really good for you, and really, really good for society, and really good for everyone, and everyone wants more of it, you're going to get exponential growth curve from that. Consistency. But if you do something bad over a long period of time, you're going to get an exponential decline no matter what. The question today was, the path to our dreams will be hard, will be tested. What are those tests, those hardships, and those pains? And I'm putting these for a reason. Why? Because once you actually are masculine, once you actually can control your thoughts, and you can control your emotions, and you can control your behaviors, life becomes easy. I'll repeat that again for you. Once you're masculine, life becomes easy because you're able to control your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Does it mean that you will stop having problems? No, it's the opposite. But because life is easy, okay, I'm putting quotation marks there too, because I'm not saying that everything is just gonna you know, and you're just gonna go through life like that, because that's not reality, right? You can be happy despite circumstances, but you still have to confront reality of what's happening. Okay, it's the Stockdale paradox, which is explained in Good to Great by Jim Collins. This is the point that I'm trying to make, though. Life is easy because you are the leader, because you're controlling your thoughts, the way that you interpret what is happening in this specific time frame or with this specific event, whatever event has happened. And then you know that you're able to solve the problem, which causes you to now actually work to solve the problem. And because you know that it will eventually be solved either in your generation while you're alive or in the next life or while you're gone, okay? Like if you're dead, you've created some momentum, you've created a legacy, you've created something that lives on without you, which makes you fired up in this life, because that thing will live on without you, because you've had a proper leadership role. Does that make sense? And then that thing will actually eventually solve the problem. Now I'm thinking about huge things, but it can be small things too. The more masculine you are, the more you're able to tell yourself and others, we'll figure it out. It's gonna be okay. Life is amazing. It's fantastic. It's just that some things we haven't figured out yet, but the moment you figure it out, it's like tying shoelaces. You've done it once, you can do it again. If you've made $1 million, you can do it again. And you can do it 1,000 times if you want to. It's just that the first $1 million is very difficult, okay? And it's, you know, you can take that back to 100,000. Making $100,000 is, you know, quite difficult. But once you've done it, you can do it again, which means that it becomes easy. Does that make sense? It's like, it's only the initial phase that's difficult. That's the point of this video today. Being masculine is not hard, okay? It's the initial phase from going through your crappy feminine behavior that's hard. Now that's difficult. That's the hardest part of the journey. The journey that you've started, your first initial months and weeks that you're going through right now, seeing this channel, understanding what masculinity is about, and struggling with your brain about how to overcome your little bitch inside, that's what's hard. That's the pain. That's the difficulty that you have to suffer through right now. Okay? What you're experiencing right now, if you've actually started your masculine journey, it is the hardest thing that you will ever experience in your entire life. The moment you manage to get over yourself, everything changes. Okay? How long does that take? It depends on you. It depends on how fast you're willing to do the things that are necessary to be done so that you can progress further, so that you can get the exponential growth curve and get momentum. You need momentum. Okay, so what are some of the things that I want to mention? Oh, okay. You are struggling so hard with SR. That's one. Okay? It's extremely difficult. We know the solution on this channel. It's not difficult. The only reason why it's difficult is because you're not applying the principle that's necessary to be applied in order for you to win over SR. Because there's one thing that if you do it, you'll automatically win. Automatically. But this one thing is harder than SR. Actually, I figured out. And it will help you to you know, it's like, I looked at all the addictions in life, and then I'm like, okay, so all these addictions are actually a result of not controlling your sexual urges and not being able to be on SR. Okay, all the other addictions like drinking and alcohol, partying, you know, girls, whatever. Okay, all of that stuff comes from you not being able to control yourself sexually. Okay, so SR, semen retention. And then I was like, let's take it a step further, because I figured out that, oh, the one thing that actually solves SR, it has nothing to do with sexual urges, and it actually doesn't even have anything to do with addictions, to be honest. Although it is an addiction, you'll realize that you are addicted to being lazy. You are addicted to being feminine. You are addicted to indulging, okay? You're addicted to social. You're addicted to blaming others for your circumstances. You're addicted to relaxing, okay? You're addicted to indulging, to feeling, to expressing, to live. That's what you really are addicted to. SR is actually almost like a symptom of your addiction to femininity. Your addiction to who you were as a child. I just want to keep my childhood, man. I didn't have a childhood. My parents were horrible with me. I was in school and I was teased this and I was teased that, and everything was horrible in my childhood. So I want to hold on to it. Okay? You can try, but you know what's hard? You know what's difficult in this life? Is remaining in your femininity. It's going to stop you from getting everything in life that you desire. It's going to stop you from getting any abundance of any kind. And it's going to stop you from getting the women that you desire. Like, who wants to remain in their femininity? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. But some people do. And if they want to, that's okay. You know, we care for them anyway. They have their own journey, but you have your own journey. You've got to decide what you want. And if you believe the things that I'm teaching on this channel about masculinity, you're fired up outside your brain about becoming masculine. Because it makes sense. All of the stuff that I teach makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Except the one thing that will automatically change your life, give you everything in life that you desire, and also solve the SR problem. And what is that? Say it with me now. The 80-hour work week. The 80-hour work week will solve all of your problems. All of them. But you got to apply it the way that I teach it on this channel, with an exit strategy. It's almost like I need to put that in the same sentence. The 80-hour work week plus your exit strategy. Because very often people believe, this is another principle about femininity, by the way. I'll use it as a detour, remind me of getting back to what I was talking about. 80-hour work week plus exit strategy. Femininity believes that this thing right here, right now, the event, the emotions, what I'm experiencing is going to last forever. Okay? That's femininity in a nutshell. This is a good thing, this is a bad thing. It's a good thing in the sense that femininity, when they're happy, when everything's amazing, when they have pleasure, etc., that emotion that they have is exponentially added upon, okay? It's not just I'm having this emotion about this specific event. No, they believe, okay? Their brain believes that this thing that's happening right now will last forever. That's what it means to be a now creature. So you believe that everything that's happening right now in this moment that's so good, so pleasurable, so amazing, it's going to last forever. And then the moment that feeling disappears, you're like, oh, it's not going to last forever. Oh, now you're freaking out. Okay? This goes the opposite way as well. Where if everything's, like if something bad happens, or if you're depressed, or whatever it is that happens to femininity, because it happens, you know, stuff happens, you believe that thing, that emotion, that aspect and viewpoint that you have about this thing is gonna last forever. That your emotion like this is it's gonna last forever, man. It's not. Feelings come and go depending upon your environment if you are a feminine creature. So your negative feelings are gonna disappear eventually, unless you die in your misery, okay? But that's not an option for you. If you know this stuff, it doesn't make any sense to not apply the things that I teach and then die in misery. Because now you know the information that is required for you to actually be happy and get that exponential joy, bliss, and happiness that I talk about on this channel by simply putting in the effort that is necessary to get it. And we're back to the 80-hour work week with the exit strategy, because right now, once you hear me talk about the 80-hour work week, you're just like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be horrible. Are you kidding me? 80-hour work week, I gotta live. What if I told you that the 80-hour work week will make you feel more alive than you've ever felt in your lifetime? The 80-hour work week, if applied the way that I teach it, will make you feel more alive than you've ever felt in your entire life if you apply it correctly. Okay? The moment my clients, the moment the guys on this channel begin to comment down below and say, the 80-hour work week has revolutionized my life. I'd like, you know, I can't believe that I didn't do this before. It's like, oh, it's amazing, okay? You're gonna begin to see a lot more of these comments over time because I'm focusing a lot on it. And I want you guys to have that one thing, work ethic. Because femininity is blah, 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 enjoying the butterflies, smelling the roses, yeah, it's so nice. We don't got time for that. Why? Okay, do we have that sometimes? Yeah, sure. 5 minutes of the day, okay? But the rest of the day, 11 hours a day, okay, 11 and a half hours a day, we work our asses off. Why? Why do we do that? Because there's a world out there that needs me, that needs you to do something, to solve their problems. And the cool part about it, the moment you solve their problems, they become excited. Them being excited makes you excited. And then you're like more excited about doing more work because you're fired up, okay? And now you're just like, man, I can't wait to get up in the morning and do more work. Okay? And then the next day you're just like, I'm even more fired up. This is exponential growth happening. But guess what? It's not going to look like that in the beginning, is it? In the beginning, you're just, okay, I'm going to do the 80-hour work week, okay? I'm unemployed, but I'm going to work 12 hours today, in order for me to get a full-time job, to get 3 jobs like Joseph talks about on this channel, okay? All right, let's start. 12 hours. You're going to feel horrible. Okay, applying for jobs. But the strategy is apply for 100 jobs, shotgun approach. You give them an application in their hand, talk directly to the manager. Do not do online applications. It's a flippin' waste of time. 100 applications, find a place where there's tons of businesses and go out there and deliver 5-6 applications per hour. That's what I recommend, and do that 10-12 hours a day. Until you've got 3 jobs, and you'll get it. I promise. I've seen this multiple times of people doing exactly this strategy and they get those jobs. You know what happens? If they've got coaching, they actually manage to keep their attitude up. If they don't have coaching, a lot of problems are going to happen in their lives. They're going to be like, oh, my health is declining. I don't get sleep. I'm not eating enough. Oh, I'm taking naps. I'm getting late for work. My life is horrible. My relationships are falling apart. My family's missing me. This, that, and the other. I'm not religious. And it's like all of these problems enter into that person's life who's applying the 80-hour work week. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it easier now that you've started the 80-hour work week? Is your life easier? No, it's not. It's harder. It's much worse. And your life is miserable. And it's like, I hate being, told what to do with my work. My bosses have lousy people skills and they want me to do this and this and this job just because they don't want to do it themselves. And I got to have a positive attitude about it. Are you kidding me? Yes, okay? I want you to go through hell so that you can experience developing an amazing, fantastic, positive attitude despite circumstances. An attitude independent of circumstances is masculine because you're able to choose your happiness because you've got an exit strategy. If you knew or believed that the 80-hour work week was going to last forever, and that's your entire life, and it's like, Joseph, I don't think I like serving people that much. Okay, you might not like it by serving other people in like a job that's not yours. Okay, that you didn't choose. You just picked the job and hopefully you're going to be happy doing it. No, the 3 jobs are temporary. They're temporary. They're temporary. What does that mean? It means it's not going to last forever, bro. It's just about you learning to be disciplined, learning to do things that you're not willing to do, learning to get yourself to keep jobs, okay? That's one thing. And also to develop a positive attitude doing stuff that you actually don't really enjoy doing, okay? Because imagine your attitude when you actually are doing something you enjoy doing. That's where we're getting towards. That's your exit strategy of building that on the side so that your income in your side hustle helps you to replace that 3rd job. And then it helps you replace that 2nd job. And then once you've doubled your income, you can now replace your full-time job. Guess what? You're now free for the rest of your life from working for other people because you built that side hustle. It took you 12 to 18 months. Maybe you suck and it takes you 30 months, okay? It should never, ever take you 30 months, but the reason why it took you 30 months is because you did not choose to pay for coaching. Coaching would have helped you to get it done in the next 6 to 18 months. Mostly 12 to 18 months because you guys got a lot of crap to work through with me, okay? Try to work on that by yourself. It's just hard. It's just difficult. Obviously, I don't have much capacity for clients. At some point, I have a max limit to how much I can take in, but you know, I can help you guys to do this fast. It doesn't have to take 2 years, 3 years. It can take less. Okay, but my point with all of this is to help you guys understand that the initial pain is changing the paradigm. Understanding that the pain and suffering that you have in the beginning of starting your journey towards masculinity, that's where you're going to have pain. The pain is leaving femininity behind. The pain is the cognitive dissonance of everything that you've believed your entire life going out the wazoo because I'm teaching you the truth on this channel. That's what's happening. That's the pain. You're just like, I don't believe in this 80-hour work week thing. I don't believe in SR. I don't believe in 3 in Love. I don't believe in this stuff that he's teaching me. Okay, that's painful. To go to basically strip yourself of everything that you've believed to be true and then recognize because you're actually investing in the principles that I teach and I'm actually telling you why things are the way they are. I'm not just telling you do this because, okay? Because I said so. I'm saying if you do this, this will happen and it happens to everyone who does it. Make sense? And it's just a few months away. Can I tell you something? It's just the first 3 months that are a bitch. Okay? Hope my kids didn't hear me swear. Okay? But they did. It's the first 3 months, man. Okay, what are the first 3 months? It takes you a week, maximum, to get a job, to get 3 jobs. Why? Because you did what I told you. You did 100 applications every single day for a week. That's 700 applications. Trust me, you'll have more than 10 interviews from that. Okay? Oh, but I only did 50 applications a week. That's okay, but that's going to take you twice as long to get that job, and you're not being paid for applying jobs. So that's a kind of like a waste of time if you're not doing it quickly. Does that make sense? And I want you to start 12 hours immediately, even though you're unemployed. Leave your house, bring a lunch, and stay out. Stay out the entire day, okay? How much can I emphasize it? Because you guys staying at home being lazy, being feminine, not changing, not going anywhere. Literally. okay? I want you to go anywhere, somewhere, but preferably in an area that's walking distance from your house so that you can run between your 3 jobs, okay, for the next 12 to 18 months. Now this is what's going to happen. After that initial 1 week of getting those jobs, or 2 weeks, or however long it takes you to get those jobs, then your next step is going to develop that positive attitude, right? It's going to be a lot of growth pain because of your health, your eating, your sleep that you need to get now, and all of the relationships that you've left behind. You're going to struggle with getting that mix to work around your schedule. And it's not going to work well, which is great, because we need to leave your friends behind somewhat. We need your family to take care of themselves somewhat, okay? So that you can focus on taking care of them long term, okay? Because they're not going to take care of themselves long term, and they keep wanting you to take care of them short term. A lot of you, okay? If you're not in that situation of having any family to take care of, you are blessed, okay? But that's not the majority of people from my experience. Anyway, what's going to happen, it's going to take you a month or 2 months or 3 months or maybe 6 months to go through that growth pain of establishing that 80-hour work week. But the faster you do it, the faster you build momentum towards getting out of those jobs, okay? And I want you to get out of there fast, but that's why you need to get them fast, so that you can get out of them and so that you can develop that positive attitude immediately and as soon as possible. Next step, and I've repeated myself tons of times, is to start that side hustle on the side. Well, on the side of the 80 hours, I'm gonna work you to death, okay? But you're not gonna die. You're gonna get fired up outside your brain. That's the thing. It's like literally a leap of faith, okay? Where you're basically standing here, you don't know how you're gonna feel doing the 80-hour work week. It's gonna be horrible, I'm telling you right now. But if you develop a positive attitude over time and you get fired up outside your brain about the exit strategy that you've got, that's a leap of faith, believing that that exit strategy is going to work out. What's the worst thing that could happen? You can quit all 3 jobs in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, if the thing that I'm telling you does not work. Okay? 10 push-ups. Okay? You can quit all of those jobs if you want to. But you won't want to, because you'll get fired up outside your brain within 3 months if you follow my system and keep listening to my channel. Okay? Make sure you subscribe and like. And then once you've developed that side hustle, you're replacing your job slowly but surely over time, because your side hustle is bringing in income. 12 to 18 months, maximum 30 months, you should be out of those jobs and you're free for the rest of your life. You've learned skills now. You know you can take care of yourself. You can take care of your finances, and you've saved up a lot of cash. You've invested in the correct, cryptocurrencies or whatever it is that you've chosen to do, and you're free. You're free. And you've got the most important skill in the world, 80-hour work week. Because with the 80-hour work week, you can solve any problem. Any problem, because you got the work ethic, and you know anything that you put your mind to do, you can do it. And once you have that mindset, everything becomes easy. Okay? The hardest thing that you'll ever do is having a family, okay, and setting it up the right way, and then making sure that your women and children are protected and provided for luxuriously. That's the hardest thing that you'll do. But guess what? It's easy once you've gone through the deliberate steps that I've given you now in the beginning. The pain is going from your femininity and leaving it behind, leaving women behind, leaving, your addictions behind, leaving family behind temporarily by not seeing them very much, leaving behind your friends who are not really your friends, because you need to look at the lens of the long-term picture. Most of your friends are not going to be willing to change, which means that you will change, which means that you guys are not really connected that much anymore, which means that you're going to get new friends that are going to be better friends, that are going to be happier friends, that are going to have an amazing attitude friends, which is going to keep your attitude amazing as well. Okay, one of the reasons why I have a fantastic attitude is because I surround myself with people that have fantastic attitudes. And then because we're only surrounding ourselves with people that have fantastic attitudes, everyone's got a fantastic attitude. Okay? And my clients, I help them sometimes with their attitude, but that's my job. And it's easy for me. You know what I mean? It's not hard. So anyway, that's kind of my response to, you know, it's going to be hard. We're going to be tested. What are those tests, hardships, pains? You know, what should I be ready for? Jump into it, because the hardest thing is starting out and then keep going. Keep going, no matter how it feels. Because the problem, the biggest problem, this is how I'm going to end this video, is the thing that your femininity gives you hormones, okay? Produces hormones, it produces emotions, it produces thoughts and feelings and beliefs that coincide with femininity. So if you've never left your childhood behind, so to speak, and you never became a man, you're still in your femininity, and your femininity dictates what you think about, what you believe, what career you choose, what everything. Your femininity is you. Okay? But now you're making a conscious decision to change, to say, I want masculinity. I don't want to remain the same, because I know if I remain the same, I'll always have the same. So if I want something else, I gotta change. I gotta do something different. I gotta get outside my comfort zone. And that's where you get everything that you want, right? But guess what? The 80-hour work week, SR, all the other things that I teach on my channel, it's not gonna feel right. It's not gonna feel good. It's not gonna make you feel the way that you've always felt. Does it ring a bell? Feeling is feminine. Who cares about your feelings, man? I don't care about your feelings. You shouldn't care about your feelings, because your feelings right now are feminine. They're not based on truth, rationality, and abundance. They're based on scarcity mindset of like, but if I do that, then I can't have that, and then I can't do this, and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like your taste buds when you're eating unhealthy for years and years and years, and then you're switching to not eating unhealthy at all anymore, and you switch to healthy dishes. You're just like, this tastes horrible. This doesn't even taste like anything. And it's like blah, blah, blah. And then, guess what? After a month, your taste buds have completely changed. Completely changed. What you felt was amazing before, suddenly it's not that amazing, or it makes you sick to think about the greasy, nasty food that you used to eat. Okay? Now that you're eating healthy, it's like, oh man, it's yum. Like the salad is just, it tastes so fantastic. Does that make sense? It's like your very DNA structure is going to change and align with your masculinity and your masculine hormones, your testosterone, your in the beginning, your non-emotions, okay? Or your consistent emotions, so to speak. It's amazing. I can just tell you, I'm a witness. Masculinity is fantastic, and I haven't even arrived. There's no such thing as having arrived in terms of masculinity. There's always a growth journey towards it, because perfection for man is ultimate masculinity. So you want ultimate masculinity, that's the right thing to aim for all men, irrespective of gender, race, whatever it is. Gender, right? But masculinity is it. For women, it's femininity. Let them have that. Let's not take away their thunder and their light. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you got tons out of it, and let's see if there's any questions, thoughts, and I'll answer them. 80 hours is the truth, and in my experience takes care of SR automatically. Absolutely. Facts. A lesson to choose how you want to experience your reality, no matter the situation. Joseph, I have to email you soon. I built my exit strategy and hit many of my financial goals. Fantastic. And you've been just around for a few months too. Happy for you, man. Proud of you. Yeah, bro, I don't even got a car, so I gotta have one near my house. Just turned 17. Fantastic, okay? The best thing. That's my favorite. That was my personal experience. 21 years old, back from Africa after 2 years, and then I applied for 20 jobs, okay, immediately at the mall right next to my house. Literally 500 meters. I got 3 jobs at that mall. I ran between them, okay? And it was fun. I didn't have any costs, none whatsoever, except my apartment and food. Amazing. And it worked out perfectly. and I don't, and you know, and I quit. I quit because of studying. Okay, if I just started a side hustle at that moment in time, oh my gosh, my life, no regrets. And I don't regret, because if I regret anything, then I wouldn't have been able to do this video and this live stream today. You guys wouldn't have gotten this information. I wouldn't be here. So we're grateful for our past. It's brought us to where we are right now. Let's see. Blockchain development for the win. Yes, love it. Friends are not good unless they're doing the same thing as you or better. Completely agree. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.